Two former Premier League clubs striving for a place at Wembley. On Friday at the County Ground, there was just one goal between them.
Charlton are now looking to turn their tide. Swindon looking for a return to the Championship after 10 years in the lower division. Rounds off, denies Austin. Austin coming in. Here's Danny Wood. A whisker away. Here's Bailey. Austin going in. A touch and shoot. Yes. You bet. You bet. Could be one here. Sheer bravery of Dion Burton. Ward. Oh, inside of the post. It's 2-1 for Swindon. Bring on the Valley.
Danny Wilson has played and managed at the highest level, but taking a club to Wembley would be a career first for him. Swindon are just one game away. And the headline news for Swindon fans: Billy Painter, the top scorer with 29 goals and having the season of his life, starts the game after missing Friday with a hamstring injury. And both full-backs are changed. Stephen Darby is in, and so is Lessenel Jean-Francois. Charlton are turning up the heat tonight. The Valley is being primed to raise the decibels to intimidation levels. They've had too many seasons recently of relegation football. They want to be upwardly mobile again. And the big changes for Charlton: Miguel Lira replaces the injured Sam Sodji in defence. Kyle Reid comes into midfield to replace Thierry Racon, who drops to the bench. Live on Sky Sports HD1 and Sky Sports 1, the Coca-Cola League One playoff second leg between Charlton Athletic and Swindon. From the Valley, there's no forecasting this one tonight. Any result is possible, and the groundsman here has been doing some extra work on the penalty spot before the game. With us is Chris Kamara. Chris, is this one just too close to call, even though Swindon have a goal lead?
Well, it's close to call, obviously, George. The reason why it's close to call is because Charlton could have been out of sight in this particular game, because Swindon played so well, created loads of chances. So for Phil Parkinson to get his players together the day after and say, right, you know, we've had a bit of luck, we got back into it late on, we scored a decent goal, they created lots of chances, we just need to tighten up a little bit and make sure that we create chances and not allow them to create too many chances.
Do you think there's any risk at all in playing Billy Painter?
Of course there's a risk, but you can't worry about that. If they didn't get to Wembley, they'd be thinking, well, why didn't we have a go with him? You know, Billy had a spasm in his hamstring, but he saw the chances that the team created, and he knows he could have scored at least one or two of those goals. So he thinks, right, I've got to take a chance tonight. I might not get the opportunity again. We're going to create chances. Even if I last for half an hour, I might have stuck two goals in the back of the net by then. I might have even got one, which could be crucial in the tie. So that's important for him to play, and for the rest of the players, because they know that they had the chances to win it, to put the tie out of sight, and now they've got the fella who can stick the ball in the back of the net playing for them.
And of course, Painter and Austin has been the dream partnership this year in League One, hasn't it?
Absolutely fantastic, George. You know, as a partnership in League One, they're probably the best. You know, I look at the teams, Leeds at the top of the table, Norwich, and their lone strikers scored loads and loads. These two of us, a partnership, have done it together. They're comfortable in each other's company. They're comfortable as a team partnership. You know, Austin is not maybe as hard working as Painter, but together as a finishing act, they're superb.
And Charlton have said we're going to turn up the noise tonight, make it really tough for Swindon, but they say we've been to Elland Road and won 3-0.
Well, it's important for the Charlton fans to do that tonight, because like you said, you know, they know that this is their one opportunity. The game's not beyond them whatsoever. There's one goal in it. If they can push their side on to be as best as they've been all season. I saw them a couple of weeks ago against Leeds, and they played very well. Phil Parkin says the best that they played this season was when they lost to Norwich. He says if we can play as well as that and score the goals as well, we'll win this one tonight.
OK, it's into the cauldron tonight for Danny Wilson and his boys. He's with Patrick Davison now.
Danny, 3 changes, including the return of Billy Painter. How big a boost is his inclusion?
Well, it's a big boost, you know. I think it was a big disappointment on Friday evening to lose him. But quite the reversal this evening, you know, having Billy back and fully fit is just the tonic of hope that we need. We know it's going to be a very tough game, big encounter for us, but to have your strongest team out as possible, that's great from our point of view.
Is he okay for 90 minutes and another 30 if needed?
I hope so. We'll soon find out, won't we? No, the intentions, we wouldn't play him if we didn't think he could get through the game, you know, quite honestly. So I think from that point of view, we'd say yes.
What's the approach tonight?
To try and win the game. It has to be. I don't think we're equipped really to sit back and soak pressure up. I'm sure we'll have to do it at certain parts of the game, but I don't think we're really equipped to set our stall out and do that. I think we're better, you know, on our attacking side of our game. So hopefully that's what we'll try and do.
You've never managed at Wembley. What would it mean to get there?
It'd be fantastic, wouldn't it? Of course it would. I think that there's 22 players that's on the pitch who are desperate to go out, and 2 sets of coaching fraternities as well. So it'll be a big boost for everybody, but we're going to give it our best shot.
Thank you, Dan.
Swindon finished the season, Chris, with 29 more points than last season. Are they the big overachievers of League One?
Well, they did very well. You know, you achieve what you achieve in this division, and they played ever so good. Certainly around Christmas time, January and February, they were almost unbeatable, and Danny had the belief in them, and they just had a little hiccups along the way. You know, he's already said that we feel we could have made those automatic 2 places, but I haven't let the players think of that for 1 minute. We've gone away from home, we've performed well, we've took the game to the other teams, so there's no reason tonight, whatever the score, is for Swindon to sit back.
Phil Parkinson took Charlton down last season, didn't he? He didn't often get the chance to have a second go. Is that a big incentive for him?
Well, to be fair to him, it was already done and dusted before he took over, so it was very difficult for him. When it's on that slippery slope, it's hard to reverse it. So he gets the opportunity at the end of the season. He's managed at this level before. He knows what it's all about, and he's now got an opportunity, whereas you look at the teams that are in the division and you say, yeah, Charlton are a big club, but it just didn't quite work out for them because Norwich and Leeds, 2 top dogs as well, have managed to get ahead of them, but they've got this second bite of the cherry in the playoffs, and I'm telling you now, that feel-good factor, having known that you could have lost by more goals in that first leg, gives you a running jump going into this one.
Well, can Swindon get a result tonight? Yes, they can. Can Charlton win by 2 goals tonight?
Well, Lloyd Sam's the key for me, because he creates loads and loads of chances. If Swindon keep him quiet, then I think they'll nullify Charlton as a football club. But those 2 big boys up front for Swindon, they've got a lot of work to do, Charlton, to keep those quiet.
OK, let's hear from the Charlton manager, Phil Parkinson. He's with Patrick now.
Phil, just 1 behind from the first leg. How capable are your side of coming back and winning this?
Well, I think we showed in the second half at Swindon. The courage we showed in our response was terrific, but we need that courage from the first minute tonight to get through to Wembley.
2 changes. Miguel Lira comes in, so does Carl Reid. What's the thinking behind those selections?
Well, Sodji's not fit, so he drops right out, and Carl Reid gives us a natural attacking option on the left-hand side. He deserves his opportunity tonight. He's done well since he's been here, and he can be a match winner.
It's been a difficult few years for Charlton Athletic, a couple of relegations. How big an opportunity is this to get the club back on track?
Of course, it's a great opportunity for us, and been a long season. It's been a good one. But we want to finish it in style, and we've got a great opportunity tonight.
It could go right to the wire. Have you practised your penalties?
Yeah, we've been practising, so everybody's had a go at them, and hopefully we've picked our best 5.
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you.
Charlton relying on the atmosphere, but it can work for both teams, can't it, this kind of place?
It's absolutely fantastic. You know, this is what football's all about. You know, these as football supporters have got an opportunity to go to Wembley and support their team. They've also got one chance of just being away from the big time. So they know even if they win tonight or they win at Wembley, next season, who knows? You know, the investment might come into the club and they could get to the Premier League. Fantastic.
And this is finally good news for Charlton, whatever happens, to be on the up again after 2 seasons out of 3 relegation. That was been terrible for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a big disappointment for the supporters, but it's a big night for both sides, George. You have to say, Swindon have been in the Premier League as well, so their supporters are thinking also that we can get back to the big time.
And we heard Danny Wilson say, you know, we're going for the win. Would it be dangerous to, at any stage, think a draw will do us?
No, not at all. I cannot see. I've watched Swindon a lot this season, and I cannot see them going for a draw whatsoever. And they know that if you push this Charlton side all the way, you are going to create chances. Charlton also know that they'll create 1 or 2, and they might even take them.
So, at the very least, we should see goals tonight.
We'll see goals tonight, George. I can guarantee you that.
OK. Let's go and join our commentators now. Gary Birtles and Martin Tyler.
Thank you, George. Hello again, everyone. Charlton again turn to their Spanish central defender, Miguel Lira, with Sam Sodji, who needed constant treatment during the first game, not involved tonight. 1 positional change in midfield, with Nicky Bailey moved infield from a wider berth on the left-hand side. So Kyle Reid, who's on loan from Sheffield United, is asked to do that job tonight. Swindon managed well without Billy Painter on Friday, but with the 29-goal striker fit again, he's understandably back in tonight. Danny Ward reverts to the left-hand side. There are changes in both full-back positions. Stephen Darby on loan from Liverpool regains the right-back spot from Kevin Amankwa. Alan Sheehan is injured, so the defender from Haiti, Lexinel Jean-Francois, takes his place. 19-year-old Matt Fry is on the Charlton bench tonight. Another loan signing from West Ham. There's a 5-man limit on loanees on the team sheet. So today, Akpo Soji has been signed on a permanent deal from Sheffield Wednesday and no longer counts as a loan player. Well, there's a very special Charlton mascot tonight. 6-year-old Adam Bird, who is suffering from a rare and aggressive type of cancer. Led by their physio, Steve Allen, Charlton are trying to raise £300,000 for treatment, which is only available in the USA. And donations can be made via the club website.
It's going to go down. Come on, Charlton!
Well, a place in the League One playoff final a week on Saturday is at stake. The first leg, Gary Birtles, a great credit to this level of football.
Well, it's fantastic. If we anything like the first leg, this will be an absolute cracker. Both teams gave everything as you'd expect. Very tight. I'm sure it'll be exactly the same tonight.
Charlton have an impressive home record, 14 wins in the regular season, but 8 draws on their travels, 9 away victories, including that 3-0 at Leeds. Tells you that Swindon are no weaklings outside of Wiltshire. Ricky Bailey on the right, the Charlton captain. Gordon Greer leading Swindon, who are in their change strip of blue tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
From a neutral perspective, more of the same from Friday, please. In front of a big crowd here. It is the Valley of Adventure tonight, with Wembley the aim for Charlton Athletic and for Swindon Town. And it's live.
Sky Sports HD1 and Sky Sports 1, live from the Valley, the League One playoff semi-final, second leg. Charlton against Swindon, with Swindon leading 2-1 from the first leg. The commentators, Gary Birtles and Martin Tyler.
So 90 minutes.
Thank you, George.
More than you ever have in your life.
In the regular season, 2 points between them in Charlton's favour. From Friday's semi-final, first leg, it's 2-1 in Swindon's favour. Those are the meaningful statistics. Charlton to kick off. When Swindon were last here, it was Boxing Day, and it finished 2-2. Charlton played the entire second half with 9 men. Managed to salvage a point. There was plenty of drama that day. You can expect much of the same on a very good playing surface tonight. Credit to the groundsman Colin Powell, former Charlton winger. Charlton trying to get some width into their early play. Gary Borrowdale borrowed from Queen's Park Rangers. Burton gets ahead to it. And the goalkeeper, David Lucas, has taken a very heavy fall, and he's in pain around the shoulder, the collarbone area, as you can clearly see.
Oh, this is the last thing that Swindon want to see early in the game. Burton does well, wins it, keeper comes decisively, but the fall right on his shoulder. Good concentration, but falls over his own play and lands really awkwardly. And he's in agony by the look of it.
And David Lucas, one of the more experienced members of the Swindon side, even though it's his first year with this club. The substitute goalkeeper is Phil Smith. And it could be that they will have to make the change this early on. Lucas would obviously try and grit his teeth and carry on.
Burton does well, gets the header. There Lucas comes, just falls over his own defender there and just crashes to the floor. And so awkwardly. They're trying everything they can to hopefully keep him out there. You've got to think that his mind's right as well to come on if he has to.
And it's not like an outfield player where you could say just run it off, see how you go. You just cannot take any risks in a match of this importance, with a job of this importance.
Looks in total agony, doesn't he? The ice was shoved down his shirt there. See the grimace on his face.
Steve Allen, the Charlton physio, coming to help out as well. And of course the officials quite rightly allowing a goalkeeper much more time to recover. Phil Smith played 9 times this season. Had a lot of experience in non-league football after being released by Millwall as a youngster. Millwall, of course, involved in the other semi-final in the League One playoffs. They play at home to Huddersfield here in South London tomorrow.
It's important the outfield players stay focused now, keep warmed up, keep stretching. A long delay now.
He's shaking the head. Jed Mackey, the Swindon physio, trying to maybe help him with the psychology of it, but it is going to be a substitution, and Gary, it certainly looks the right thing to do.
You can't take a chance, can you? If there's any doubt at all, you have to take him off, because if you stay on and try and see if it's all right, the opposition will just put that ball under his crossbar, test him out, and you could lose a goal through it. What a blow, though. First minute of the game and your goalkeeper's off.
Funny enough, George Gavin was alluding to the possibility of penalties tonight. Swindon have been involved in 3 penalty shootouts already this season, and 2 of them, Phil Smith has been the goalkeeper.
Well, as I say, sitting on the bench, maybe not expecting to come on, take any part. Now he's got to. Now he's got to clear his mind.
And you have to worry, there is a 12-day gap between tonight's semi-final second leg and the final itself at Wembley, but if David Lucas has severely damaged that shoulder or that collarbone, if Swindon were to get through, could be missing out on the climax at the National Stadium.
Well, had it been this Saturday, I thought no chance, but like you say, a little bit longer. They'll be able to recover in time if they do get through.
Vieira wins the header.
What do you think about the players' minds out there? Has it flattened the Swindon players a little bit? Has it lifted the Charlton players? You would think so.
Bailey trying to get it forward straight away. Off the chest of Burton. Flicked on for Swindon by Douglas. Here's Lloyd Sam, who took it well. He's a creator of goals rather than a scorer of them. So David Mooney playing it back to Borrowdale. Mooney's pushed on. Kyle Reid trying to outmuscle Stephen Darby. 2 players who didn't start the first leg. Derby came on as a substitute and has kept his place. Easy for Liera. John Paul McGovern in very snappily for Swindon. They do believe in their ability to score away from home. They might have to do so. Jean-Francois. Straight to Bailey, looking for Sam. Asian defender Jean-Francois in again. But, Richardson, what a hurry and scurry, as you might expect in the early moments. Long by Simon Ferry, Scott, who's on loan from Celtic. Douglas. Here's Derby. Douglas. Austin can't quite get there. Reed a little lucky that the ball rolled on through to Mooney. Burton's got back onside, but Mooney's seen a gap and tries to go all the way through it. And it's a quartet of Swindon players denied him. A little bit of individual expression at the end. Douglas. Billy Painter. Charlton will certainly keep an eye on him as a danger man. Swindon will keep an eye on his fitness.
Certainly been a hectic start, isn't it, as you'd expect. A bit scruffy in the first stages, which you expect a little bit, a lot of pressure out there. A lot of tackles flying in, trying to impose themselves, both these teams, early in the game.
Sam. Here's Borrowdale. Liera trying a big diagonal ball. It's a very good one, which Sam controls. There are four in the middle for Charlton. And the cross comes in from Richardson. And Paul Smith is certainly attuned now.
He'll be thankful for that touch, won't he? Might collect one, there's not much pressure.
Just a quick reminder that there's no away goals rule in this stage of the competition. So any one-goal advantage for Charlton after 90 minutes would take us into extra time. Ferry. Here's Bailey, who's happier in the middle of midfield. It's an attacking move by Phil Parkinson to play him in there. And Charlton skipper. Scored 13 goals this season, which equals his previous best tally in a campaign. He's one behind Burton, who got his 14th at the county ground on Friday night.
Shows how important goal-scoring midfields players can be to a team.
Painter. It's actually out of contract at the end of this season. This could be, of course, tonight. As Swindon are concerned. Mooney. Now Sam. Burton goes near post. Oh, it's gone through past Mooney, past Reed.
You can see the plan from Charlton, can't you? Get Sam in the game, get it out to him early. Like that, one touch, gets the ball in early, terrific ball in. Misses everybody, nobody gets a touch on it. But that's the quality he can produce. And that's what Dion Burton, Mooney will be looking for.
As I said, Gary, he is a maker of goals. He hasn't scored in his last 28 games for Charlton. But if they can work it wide, he can get the crosses in, and that could be the route to the recovery that they're looking for here.
Certainly looks like they fancy him against Jean-Francois, full-back.
Reception by Douglas. Charged down by Borrowdale. Playoffs were actually introduced in 1987. 3 teams were successful. Aldershot were in the mix again this time, and the other 2 were Charlton and Swindon. coincidence. Both were successful that year on May the 29th, which is the date of the final this time around. Sam. But
trying to work it out to Sam. Burton's the key for me as well. He's always available. Good first touch, brings midfield into play.
Richardson's cross. Burton goes in. He got above Stephen Darby, but the ball went well above the bar.
And he does hang well in the air. Takes some really good positions. A little bit too high for him this time. And guarantee if deliveries keep coming in like that, he'll be looking to convert them.
Friday night was Swindon's first home win over Charlton for 13 years, but will count for very little unless they can perform again strongly tonight.
Most of the play has been in the Swindon half so far. You'd expect the home team to have a good opening.
Burton slipped by Reid. He's up on his feet. Pushed out by Smith. A good touch by Jean-Francois as it broke towards Sam, the substitute goalkeeper, showing his ability, his agility.
And they'd be delighted to have pulled off a save so soon after coming on. Decisive save as well. Well, Reid does ever so well here. He slips initially. Again, Burton does well. He's strong. He holds up play well. There's the slip. He gets up, gathers himself, spots that corner, goes for it. And that's a decent save from Smith. Palms it away from danger. Jean-Francois alert enough to get the final touch away.
Free for Ferry. Burton not picked up, able to flick it on. Helped on by McGovern, met by Liera. Take by Dion Burton. Sprung to Lloyd Sam's direction again by Bailey. Richardson. Reception by Scott Cuthbert. McGovern. Swindon looking for a bit of controlled possession. They've hardly had it yet.
Find a way into the game, aren't they? Find it difficult to keep possession and close down every time they do get possession very quickly.
Christian Daly there just had a little job switch tonight. He was on the left of Soji on Friday, but he's on the right of the left-footed Liera in the second leg.
Not that much experience. Parkinson will be fully confident he could handle that, no problem.
Well, let's hear from Patrick Davidson about David Lucas.
Thank you, Martin. I've just spoken to an emotional David Lucas. The injury is believed to be to his left collarbone. He couldn't lift it after the collision. He's been with a Charlton doctor who says it will need an X-ray. He's going to stay and watch the game. He'll go for that X-ray tomorrow morning.
Well, thank you, Patrick. There you absolutely have it. Let's hope that X-ray brings good news for David Lucas. Cuthbert.
The beauty of the Charlton home, I've got two wide men in Reid and Sam who can supply the ammunition for Mooney and for Dion Burton. We've seen how they get it out early to Sam. I'm sure they'll try and do the same with Reid.
On by Borrowdale. Forward by Burton.
saw the ability of Burton again there. They know when they're clearing, it goes towards Burton, it's going to stick. It's chest, foot, knee, whatever. He holds the ball really well for them.
Austin. Hardly mentioned Austin and Painter so far. Good start by Charlton. Well, the last manager to take Charlton to Wembley, he took them pretty much everywhere, didn't he, Alan Kirbishley? Of course, that was an extraordinary championship playoff in 1998. Also a World Cup year. Charlton won it on penalties to get into the Premier League against Sunderland. Clive Mendonca with a hat-trick. And that was a most engrossing classic of its type at this stage of the season. Bailey. Burton imposed himself. And the referee is Neil Swarbrick, who gave the free kick to Swindon. Comes from Preston. Jumping with Austin and beating him. The veteran over the new boy.
Experience just counts in occasions like this. You want to have players with that many years of experience in your team. Talks to his teammates, helps them out.
Well, so far so good for Swindon. Well, they haven't really got into the groove with their own football, and they've lost their goalkeeper. Also with one or two early thoughts that he wants to be able to remember the half-time team talk. Only done by Cuthbert. Away by Derby. Austin. Referee says no handball. Ferry. Douglas. Away by Jean-Francois. Nice movement by Mooney to anticipate the direction of the layoff by Burton. Here comes Reed. And across came Derby.
Just got to take a little bit more care with the pass there, Mooney.
Through an early one long, Gary Borrowdale, but he goes shorter here for Llera. Daly. Moving forward with the grace and the pace of a youngster. 20 years since he made his debut in the Scottish football. Painter. Nice clip by Sam.
Painter and Austin just not able to get in the game at all at the moment. No supplies yet because the teammates are doing all the defending. Midfield helping the back four out. It's difficult to get service to the two strikers.
Painter and Austin have scored 49 times between them this season. Jean-Francois, Greer going for it, met by Llera. Looked up by Ferry. Burton going for the same ball. That could have been a nasty clash. Ball's going to spin out here to Danny Ward, who scored the second Swindon goal on Friday. Shot by Ferry. Blocked by Bailey. Semedo trying to work it forward for Charlton. Now Douglas. A good block. With Christian Daly flying out. Swindon were appealing for handball. Nothing doing from the referee.
Two terrific blocks on the trot there. Just let Swindon get them back into this game a little bit.
Every minute that passes at 0-0 is to their advantage. And by just playing that where was all Richardson could do, and at least get the team up the field. Maybe a chance to work something from a rehearsed throw-in. Quite a loss, no disrespect to Jean-Francois, of Alan Sheehan, who's been so good at set pieces. He came to Swindon on loan from Leeds. Cool touch from Richardson. And a meaty clearance that Burton gets to effectively, because he's given Reid some room. Sam, the two Charlton wide men on the same side of the pitch at the moment. Jean-Francois impeding Lloyd Sam.
He's really struggling at the moment, Jean-Francois, isn't he, to contain Sam. Clear obstruction there. He's going to have a busy evening.
Halfway through the first half, the second leg of this League One semi-final playoff. Borrowdale's left foot brought into play. Well defended. Richardson. It's all back for Swindon. The error chasing this, and Ferry has to concede the corner. Just stayed in. The flag did go up. It was Derby going back. They were defending a bit deep.
They certainly were. There's the ball, and he stood offside. Oh, we're talking about blocks. Here's one full-blooded there. Does hit his arm. I'll just argue that he threw himself at it. It wasn't intentional. He had a good view.
Bailey. And Ferry gets it wide here. Derby's played in the Champions League this season for Liverpool. Like a lot of their locally produced players, struggling to get a regular sight of a first team sheet with his name on it. Hit by Liera. Ferry, the drop on Sam. Maybe a little fortuitously. Here's Ward. Hunter wants to see this out for a corner. He's strong enough to do so.
Swindon with a chance to exert a bit of pressure. A decent delivery into that penalty box. Two centre-halves coming up.
Painter and Austin right around the goalkeeper. McGovern takes it. It's not really far away. Semedo. This is Douglas. Another corner. Kyle Reid got in his face, Jonathan Douglas.
Just wouldn't come down for him, would it? Decent delivery, decent header back in there. They don't clear it particularly well. Another intelligent one back into the 6-yard box. Just wouldn't come down. Good pressure. Another corner.
Another chance for McGovern to show off his set-play skills. Charlton looking for a counter-attack with Sam. Just half a chance for Charlton to break them. Richardson. A touch from Mooney. Here's Reid. That's a shot that has Smith scrambling. Not sure whether it was going in, but Smith wasn't taking any chances.
Well, Reid on the other opposite side this time. Pulled a save out of the goalkeeper before, pulls another one this time. Not going in, but doesn't want to take any chances, Smith.
Bailey making a run towards the near post. Oh, the goalkeeper's missed it. He says he's fouled. But it's gone in for an own goal, I think. Christian Daly's getting the congratulations. Simon Ferry probably saw it very late.
Well, if you put the quality in, it becomes difficult to defend. He's calling for a foul there. I'm not sure, he's just backing in a little bit, isn't he? Not a great deal. You expect the keeper to do better, be stronger. Totally misses it. And he hooks it with his right foot. If he'd have gone with his left, he clears it. Why has he gone with his right foot?
Well, it's an extraordinary own goal. The player on the post, the ball in front of him, and somehow he's put it back between the posts. And Charlton are level on aggregate. They've scored the first goal. Technically, Swindon have scored it for them, but Swindon will be certainly asking questions about whether Phil Smith was impeded with.
Bizarre own goal, wasn't it? He uses his other foot, he clears it. He's trying to hook it with his right, and he just hooked it back into the net.
You had to look twice at it to believe what you were seeing.
He couldn't believe it. And the keeper will say he was fouled, but his own man was thereabouts, and there's one Charlton player. It wasn't blatantly obvious.
Well, the public address announcer here has given it to David Mooney, but I'm afraid, from Charlton's point of view, they won't really mind who scored it, but I think we've got a new type of Woolwich Ferry here. Simon Ferry has scored in South East London for the wrong side. Richardson. Charlton on the charge, just coming at a time, Gary, when Swindon was showing some signs of coming to terms with their task tonight.
Exactly. Dominated the early stages, Charlton, but they deserve to be in the lead.
Sam. In the end, Cuthbert worked very hard to stop Burton setting the sights, and Swindon get a free kick and they're relieved. They need to clear their heads at the moment, especially Simon Ferry.
Well, here's the incident there. Definitely backing into the keeper. But look at that, he's gone with his right foot instead of his left. If he uses his left, you watch the ball come in there. Why has he gone with his right? I don't understand that. Hook your left at it. It's your weaker foot, I don't care. But he's just volleyed it in the back of the net. You have to back yourself if it is your weaker foot.
Given away by Cuthbert. Mooney. But Darby will intervene. But Gary, did you see anything wrong as the ball got beyond Phil Smith in the corner? In terms of the goalkeeper being impeded, or just...
He had his own man there, and he had a Charlton player there. The Charlton player was definitely leaning into him a little bit, but it wasn't blatantly obvious. You see that all the time. He wasn't whacked or knocked off balance. I think, given what we saw there, I don't think anybody else appealed for it. It's just the goalkeeper. The goalkeepers will do that.
Yeah. It's a lovely piece of awareness by Bailey. Charlton Athletic pushing for the final of the League One playoffs and a route back into the Championship. Feel this is an absolutely vital time on this vital evening for both clubs.
Look a great deal in that.
Leaving it to Llera, who scored on the last day of the league season, regular season, at Oldham from a not dissimilar position with probably an even softer hit shot, but it sneaked in on that particular afternoon.
Very often you see centre-halves taking free kicks.
He's an absolutely diligent practicer of it. Gary loves being involved at the set pieces. His problem has been getting in the team on a regular basis.
So Smith not kicked the ball particularly well when it came to him a moment ago. He's feeling a little bit under pressure now.
Well, Swindon are under pressure, there's no doubt about that. Charlton trying to go for the jugular here. A real test of the character of Danny Wilson's players. Here's McGovern, sat up for a confident player to have a shot, and that's a sign of belief that maybe he sprinkled around some of his teammates.
He scored from there. Yeah, mate, it's got to be an absolute screamer.
Phil Parkinson looking a little bit more relaxed. He's usually one of the calmer patrollers of the dugout. I mean, halfway through the relegation season, it would really be fair to put that descending down a division against his name. He'll certainly take full credit for promotion if Charlton do go on to do that. Could it be Charlton Millwall final? That will test the transportation authorities here in South East London.
Just a tap.
Here's Bailey. At the moment it's level on aggregate. Charlton winning here tonight. Mooney. Borrowdale. Here's Bailey. Might get his foot around it. He thinks it's deflected.
Vince, it was deflected. Chris Warbrick not agreeing with him. Did it get a deflection? No, it didn't.
Burton. Sam. Corner for Charlton. Try and turn up the heat again.
It's really been the perfect home performance so far from Charlton, isn't it? A lot of pressure from the first whistle.
Well, no wonder they're going to get Borrowdale across to take the corner again. Ferry's back on the post again. Headed away by Derby. Sam out. We talk, Gary, we were talking before the game when we walked round to the commentary position. There's always something new to see in a game. You never have seen everything, but that was certainly new for us, that type of own goal.
It was staggering. When you first saw it, you thought it's a little bit unlucky. But then when you see it again, you think, what is he thinking? Going with that foot, not using his left. I think you realise, you saw the look on his face.
Semedo. This is Bailey. Can Reed see a way to goal? Saw a way to try and find Mooney. It didn't come off, and now Swindon can counter-attack. With Ward. Bailey's back there to help out the back line.
The problem for Swindon there was they're defending that deep and in that many numbers that when they do get a break, there's nobody up there. That was the problem for Ward.
Douglas. Chipping away, he felt he was quite entitled to go for that. I don't think there was anything sinister in it.
Well, I'm sure Phil Parkinson will be delighted with that. His team well on top, thoroughly deserved the lead. They've dominated most of this first half.
It's been fierce and frenetic. Not too much flow to the football. And a bizarre goal.
Semedo just took one somewhere, didn't he? By the look of it. Painter seemed to be a little bit annoyed about the challenge. There, gets his foot round and gets the ball. And then when Painter gets up, he just directs his head in a very delicate area. Well, he's scored a lot of goals with his head this season, I'm sure, but I'm sure what he was thinking there.
It shows when the cameras are around, there are no hiding places. Little things, little nicks and nudges you could get away with in your time, Gary. And there for all to scrutinise. Fortunately for the players, the officials still don't have monitors to look at.
They've got one opportunity, don't they?
Burton, that's lovely hold-up play. Mooney trying to do something similar. He turned Cuthbert cleverly. Now needs some support. Actually helped out an unnecessary free kick given away by Gordon Greer. A sign of Swindon's state of mind, I think, at the moment.
They're just brilliantly here. Look at that for ability. Then he has a look up. There's nobody there. Has to check back, and there comes a little trip.
And he made the maximum from the contact. Movement from Christian Daly. It should be straightforward for Smith as much as anything is straightforward in an atmosphere like this one. Substitute goalkeeper, remember, if you joined us late, David Lucas, injured in the early moments of the game. A damaged collarbone. On course for an X-ray, but only after the action here. He wants to stay and help support his side through. He's going to need all the help they can get at the moment. Danny Wilson can't wait to get his players in to talk to them at half-time. Ferry. Now Painter. Ward. Richardson gets the better of him. Ward takes it away from Semedo. Showing good character. Douglas. Ferry. McGovern. Charlton really haven't been challenged defensively.
Look at this, look at the closing down. Being forced back into their own half, superb.
And Borrell can head away.
One thing Danny Wilson's got to do is get his midfield into defensive positions. Well, earlier in the half, there's half a shout for a penalty. Semedo, look, holding all over there. And look at that, when it comes, he's still got his arms around him. And there's this one, he's just backing in a little bit.
This is Kyle Reid, blocked by Greer. Douglas. Swindon can play. If you haven't seen them before, you wouldn't think that the way Charlton have gone about their business against them tonight. Foul by Charlie Austin, who was centre stage on Friday at the county ground, but hardly had a touch in 40 minutes here.
You hate it as a striker when you're not getting involved in the game as well. It's passing you by, you're desperate to get involved and see the opposition dominating things.
Well, it would be easy to say that Danny Wilson should have stuck with Ward up front and left Billy Painter maybe for later, but it's not the front men's fault, is it? They're just not getting any service at all.
No, I mean, the midfielder have just been outplayed. They're defending that deep because they're having to defend that deep. And when they do get a break, they're finding it difficult to make the yards up to support the talk from.
Here's Derby. Bailey. And Mooney is given offside even before the coming together with Stephen Darby.
I'm sure this was pretty close. Saw Bailey see the run there just as he plays it. That is very close. Man in the middle there looks to be just playing him on when the ball was played.
Hefty fall by Painter. He was leaping all over Borrowdale, and the free kick goes against Swindon's leading scorer.
I'm talking about bringing him back into the side. I put the top scorer back in the side every day of the week. That's what's got you here, or a big part of what's got you here. His goals.
Austin, the 20-year-old who's got 20 to his name. McGovern. It's a bit better from Swindon. Darby. Semedo can clear.
He's important to them, isn't he, Semedo? Protective, holding midfield player. He's protecting that back four.
Yeah, it was worth another look, Gary, as you showed us the wrestling match with Scott Cuthbert. Might have, on another day, led to a penalty against the midfield man. This is McGovern.
We saw him shoot from a lot further back earlier on. I thought he was going to pull the trigger there, decided not to. He should have had a go.
Put out by Cuthbert. There's a strong Scottish core to the Swindon Town lineup. Two centre-backs. McGovern wide right, and of course the unfortunate Simon Ferry, the unwitting provider of the only goal so far. Still a fair way from this first half coming to a close because of the treatment of David Lucas. Semedo, Burton comes in. Gets the better of Darby, but then can't keep the header down.
He's just so good at this, isn't he, though? Look at him. His position, is he offside when the ball, that's borderline, but he does attack it so well, and he hangs in the air so well. Just gets on the back of his man. It's the second one he's not been able to direct downwards. The more they come in the box, you fancy he's going to get one on target.
There's a very young Dion Burton who helped Jamaica to that World Cup in 1998.
I just like him because he does the right things that a striker should do. He holds the ball well. He brings midfield players into the game really well.
This is going to be, we think, 5 added minutes. He's holding it up triumphantly.
We have no minutes injury time.
Mike Russell, the fourth official. He's got to play this.
Again, it's Burton winning those aerial battles.
Borrowdale, back for Reid. Bailey. McGovern, who's not the best defender. Prefers to do his work in the other half of the pitch. Austin.
So he was looking forward again, and there was nobody there again. Only his strike partner. He's been waiting for help again.
It was a dangerous clearance by Darren Randolph. Austin able to let it run to McGovern. Austin. And Painter is offside.
He left it for Austin. Would have been better. McGovern gets the ball in. There's the touch. Now he just goes for it. Had Austin gone for it, would have been all right. Calls for a free kick here by Reid. Gets the ball off McGovern. Says he's tugged back. I don't think he is.
Jean-Francois. Sam. Well, the half coming to its close with Charlton in confident vein. Reid, past Derby. Picks out Mooney. Charlton are ahead on aggregate with their second goal of the night. And this one definitely belongs to David Mooney.
Stunning finish. Really was a stunning finish. But it's well worked. It's grafted here. There's the ball played. You see the ball played now. You think the defender's going to get there. It's not a foul. Dives in, commits, gets it wrong. Slightly behind Mooney. And that's a classic finish. There, Derby misses the challenge. Good awareness here. Picks him out. And that's still a lot to do for Mooney. Reid does exceptionally well. It's slightly behind him. Doesn't try and smash it. Just guides it, look. And doesn't he guide it well? To perfection. Absolutely superb. And he thinks exactly the same.
And that changes the half-time team talk, because Charlton have their noses in front, not just in the game now, but in the tie. David Mooney, who's here courtesy of his parent club, Reading, one of a number of Irish forwards recruited by Reading in recent times. Well, Swindon have got to just shake themselves down and somehow free themselves from the shackles that Charlton have put on the game. Semedo went lunging in. Neil Swarbrick wants a word with him.
I'm not surprised. This is the way Semedo plays. He's always liable to do that. He's always liable to get a yellow card. Now he's got to be careful. He's caught up in the emotion of this game. Team 2-0 up. Just got to step back a little at times and take your time.
He is very intense as a person, highly professional but highly strung. And that tells you that well, it's not a fluke that it's happened tonight. He's been a regular offender.
No fluke whatsoever. Swindon do have to find a way back in this game somehow. They've not been allowed to get into the game by Charlton.
McGovern. Ward comes in. Painter. First real sight of goal. Right on half-time.
Very nearly fine. Away back in here. What a class header this is. Back into the box. Slightly behind him. Just tries to generate a little too much power. It's half a yard on his marker for the first time in this first half. And I'm sure the Swindon fans expected that to hit the target at least.
Reid, still time left in this first half. Not much of it. That's surely a foul by Daly and Painter. Didn't hear the whistle, was trying to take the law into his own hands.
This is getting ridiculous now. Really is getting ridiculous. The assistant's got to tell the referee what's going on here.
Well, Douglas went to try and get the ball from Niera.
Well, here's the whole sorry episode. There's the foul. Painter's not happy. They're kicking out at each other. There's a shove. There he goes down on the ball. Won't let Douglas have it. I'd have kicked him as well. I really would. What's he doing? Going down on the ball like that? I think he's every right to do what he did there. And I hope Douglas doesn't get booked for it. I'd have booked Niera.
Neil Swarbrick has taken advice from his assistant, Matty McLaughlin. It's going to be a card for Douglas, explaining that he was trying to get to the ball, but there are ways of getting it.
Well, I'm sorry. Yes, he did kick out, but he should book the other guy as well. Lira should be booked as well for what he did. I think they've taken the easy way out there. He's desperate to get his team back in there. The guy's dived on the ball, won't let him have it.
Added time on added time. And I think everyone needs the half-time break. Well, it went wrong for Swindon early when they had to change their goalkeeper. And Phil Smith, the substitute, was nowhere when Simon Ferry unaccountably hooked the ball into his own net. Dean Mooney got the second late in the first half. Charlton's bid to try and turn it around is successful so far. That's George Wood, the Swindon goalkeeping coach, talking to Phil Smith, who's still complaining about the nature of the first goal, I'm sure. 2-0 to Charlton on the night, 3-2 to Charlton on aggregate. Half-time at the Valley.
It is an old-fashioned night at the Valley as well. It's been a few years since they've enjoyed themselves so much here. The views of Chris Kamara coming right up. But it was a helping hand from Swindon, which got them started. An own goal. And then David Mooney made it 2, and sending Phil Parkinson ecstatic. Tomorrow night, we're 4.5 miles away at the Den with a playoff second leg, League One, between Millwall and Huddersfield, 7:30 on HD1 and Sky Sports 1. That's goalless from the first leg. Charlton very much on top here. 2 goals up, 3-2 leaders, and almost they can touch Wembley now, Charlton Athletic. And Chris Kamara, are they good value for that lead?
Well, of course they are. You know, the problem that they've had at Swindon Town is that a goalkeeper's come into this game who didn't think he was going to play. His mindset wasn't right from the beginning, and he has cost them that first goal. Why on earth he's getting involved, I don't know. Initially, I thought, well, maybe he could have left that first shot. He probably hadn't got his bearings right. Like I said, he probably wasn't sure because he hasn't been able to mark his ground when he first come out in the first place.
You're talking about the corner now.
The corner that led to it in the first place. So I think he's, you know, because he's come into it late, he probably didn't do his preparation before. So now he's not sure. He's not convinced that whether this is going. Whereas, you know, goalkeepers now would just look at that and think, well, you know, that's going to go wide. I'm in that position. I've done my marking out. It's not going to go for the corner. Having said that, you can excuse him that because once again, the other side of it is, well, I have to be 100% certain that it's not going to go in the back of the net. And maybe he wasn't. But then the corner, what he does at the corner, why does he get involved? There's no reason to get involved here. He doesn't need, what's he getting involved there for? The ball is his. And that's the reason why Ferry, because Ferry thinks, right, my goalkeeper's going to come and get this. So all he's doing, he's sticking out a leg, Ferry. He doesn't want to leave his post, and it screws off the outside of his boot into the back of the net. You probably think it's excusable for the fullback, but I think it's the goalkeeper that's caused the problem. That flap has caused him to hook into his own net. Yeah,
that's lucky then for Charlton in a sense, but the second goal was far from lucky. It was a good goal, good finish.
It was a very good goal. Watch Derby now. Watch Derby when he's marking Reid. Now he's stopped. He's stopped. Once he's stopped, he's a fullback. You've got to think, I've got to go and protect my goal. He's not goal side of Reid. Reid plays a wonderful ball across the box, and I think they said it in commentary, Gary Birtles. He doesn't have to whack this. He's just got to guide it. He's got to keep it down. He's used the power on the ball from the cross to guide it past Smith, and it's a wonderful finish.
Great finish, isn't it? We haven't seen the much acclaimed strike partnership, really, of Austin and Painter to its full effect so far. Well, was there a shout for a penalty on behalf of Swindon?
Yeah, of course. The problem is you don't get them. You know, it's impossible. Unless the referee or the assistant is looking at this, then they can... Semedo's been a pain to everybody tonight. He really has. He's been one of the catalysts of making sure that they've gone about their business. Phil Parkinson said to Semedo, when you go out on that pitch, I want you to upset as many people as you possibly can. If you can get away with it, great. If you can't get away with it, we'll suffer the consequences. And he's got away with that. You look at Cuthbert now. Hey, come on, assistant, I need your help. If the referee's not looking, I need you to look at me. And he's not looked at him.
Well, Swindon came here with a 1-goal lead. Danny Wilson, it's gone. Charlton have the advantage after 2 goals in the first half. What are they thinking about now at half-time? Second half coming up live shortly. Here at the Valley, Charlton 2, Swindon 0. Charlton lead by 3-2 overall. We've seen the goals, Chris. There were a couple of rucks in the first half.
Yeah, there was, yeah.
Was the referee lenient or not?
Well, frustration for Swindon's point of view, because Semedo's been dishing it out, and Billy Painter knows he's been dishing it out, so he's thinking, right, just on the quiet, a sneaky one, I'll throw one in, I might get away with it, and he did. This, you cannot blame anybody for. You know, that is a foul. Billy Painter's been fouled. They want to take the free kick quickly, do Swindon, because they don't want any hanging about. Now, look, he can't hold on to the ball, as Gary said in commentary. You can't lay down on it either. How he gets booked, and the other fella doesn't, you know, that's just where the game's wrong at times.
OK, back into the action. Commentators Gary Birtles and Martin Tyler.
Thank you, George. The second goal from David Mooney. And a clever piece of psychology from Phil Parkinson, who instructed the PA announcer here to announce the first goal, the own goal, as Mooney's goal, because his striker has been a bit short of confidence recently. He's not actually the favourite of the Charlton fans, at least he wasn't before tonight. He certainly is now, because that could be the goal that takes Charlton to Wembley and the playoff final. But I'd rather suspect there is more incident, more goal-mouth action, and probably more goals to come. It's been a semi-final with a good number of chances, and Swindon surely will play better in the second half. Here's McGovern. Remember, one Swindon goal and we're all level again. The aggregate score. Here's Ferry, who's got great incentive to try and provide it himself. Jean-Francois joining in. Poor ball with both Austin and Painter taking up positions, and now he's got to get back against the fleet-footed Lloyd Sam. Spiky Semedo. On from Borodo. Here's Reid. Back into the team tonight and certainly justified his selection so far.
The only problem for Charlton is probably thinking, well, we're in front, are we there yet? I don't think they will think like that. I don't think Phil Parkinson will allow them to think that. I think they'll be going for another goal to try and put this beyond Swindon. Swindon just weren't allowed to play. They weren't allowed to get in the game at all in the first half. It's down to the closing down of Charlton.
Judged to have bounced out off a disbelieving Mooney. By Richardson and Bailey. Headed by Semedo. Nearly nipping in. Derby had to scamper. Here's Richardson. It's not a night for getting too many touches on the ball. First time from Painter's head. McGovern. Ferry, 2 touches from him. 2 touches from McGovern. Ward jumping in. He's an option from the diagonal, but they need to get some proper possession to supply him. Jean-Francois, confusion here with Cuthbert. Absolutely vital for Swindon that they don't do anything crazy at the start of this second half.
Well, Jean-Francois doesn't look steady at all out there. It's a bit of a mismatch with Sam.
Long throw from Richardson. Sam through the legs of Jean-Francois. Ward trying to help out. And actually, the free kick goes against the Charlton wide man.
The home crowd furious. There we go again. Mismatch. There's the nutmegs. Quite comfortable. That's a foul on him. I think he should have gone the other way. He's held him back.
Painter, Vieira, really been challenged at all. Brought in for Sam Sodje, able to win his headers, do his job. It's a push by Semedo. He's got to be careful. Looked in the first half, certainly one the referee will be keeping an eye on.
Chris Morrow is spot on. He has been a pain to everybody. Every time he's involved in this spiking, he's given a lot of free kicks away.
Jean-Francois. Douglas, out-muscled by Semedo, hooked forward by Ferry, in behind Bordeaux. Painter does well to get there. Sort of 50-50 ball that Swindon were getting nowhere near for most of the first half. Only produced a throw. Derby, fight on the cross. Randolph hardly had anything to do. Need to deal with the Charlie Austin in the air, which isn't easy. McGovern. More time than he realised. Douglas. Went Liera. Painter. Here comes Richardson, keeping that back four nice and narrow, nice and tight. No gap between the right back and the right side in centre half.
Well, they've been pretty tight, haven't they? They've protected the goalkeeper well. I think that's possibly his first real involvement in the game. I can't remember a meaningful save in the first half at all.
Well, the next goal, absolutely crucial. If it goes to Charlton, you think they're Wembley bound. If it goes to Swindon, it could turn what we've seen so far on its head. Ferry. McGovern. Well, won by Bordeaux. Steered forward by Bailey, laid off confidently by Mooney. But
one thing Swindon will be thinking, we have 49 goals up front. We've got a chance to get back in this game. If ours is the next goal, we could go on and get something out of this. I think they have to get the next goal.
At the moment, Charlton, very good value. Their 2-0 lead on the night. Greer. Painter.
One thing you think might happen in the second half, the longer it goes on, it does stay this tight. Charlton might just drop a little bit deeper, try and protect that goal, encourage Swindon on a bit.
Good collective work by Charlton off the ball. When Semedo gets on it, he ensures that they can keep it. Sam. Richardson.
One thing they're doing better, Swindon, in the second half was pressing better. Closer to Charlton than they did in the first half.
The man who knows his way around the valley, the Swindon assistant manager, Peter Shirtliff, who was the hero of that Charlton playoff win in the first year of the playoffs. As a central defender, he scored twice against Leeds United in 1987. Charlton were in the old First Division there, and by winning the playoffs, they stayed in the old First Division. That's the way it initially was formatted. Ferry. Back with Swindon and Cuthbert. Trying to flick it on from McGovern. Went away by Bordeaux. Well, he will realise that the job is not yet done. Tim Breaker is assistant there, who was a former playing colleague of Danny Wilson. They won at Wembley in the League Cup with Luton. On opposite sides of this particular divide. Douglas. better from Swindon. Jean-Francois got a good angle for the cross. Painter.
Sloppy, wasn't it?
Now Couple. Crowd trying to encourage Charlton to maintain their excellent work rate. Yera. With Austin probably feeling he wasn't able to get off the ground. The referee feeling that he didn't try to get off the ground.
Shake of the head there. He doesn't agree with it.
Great support here. Been a tough time being a Charlton fan the last 3 years. They've kept the belief. And now they're beginning to turn half their thoughts maybe towards how they're going to get to Wembley on May the 29th.
Still got a lot to do in this game. That's where people like Daly come into the equation. Experience, guide his teammates through it if he can.
It's good work on the ball by Jean-Francois. Sam stuck with him. Ten minutes gone in the second half. 10 minutes that takes Charlton closer to the final. Norwich champions. Leeds just got the second automatic spot. They're on their holidays. Derby. Ward hoping there might have been a moment's confusion there.
Good job, he made his mind up, took command of that situation.
Here's Richardson, still trying to take the fight to Swindon Town. Surely is the best policy for Charlton. No time to rest on their laurels. Painter. Grabbing by Sam. Ferry. Derby pushing on down the far side. Greer's ball into Painter, but he can't keep it. Richardson, sensible header. Well judged by Gordon Greer. Douglas. Jean-Francois. Bounces off Austin, and again it's the front man who can't retain possession for Swindon. Mooney. It's just as frantic in the first 10 minutes of the second half as it was at the start of the game.
Well, that's changed the last 10 minutes. Swindon desperate to get back in this game, and you can see by that they are giving it a lot more than they did the first half.
Ferry. Austin. Now McGovern. Very unlike John-Paul McGovern. Just tells you another little example of the tension out there. He's a very good crosser of the ball, probably one of the best in the division.
Just when he needed it, put a bit of pressure on. He knows he should have done better.
He knows how it should have been done.
Don't we all? Just to get a bit of impetus though, haven't they? Swindon. It's got a bit of quality to add to that.
Painter and Austin just seeing a little bit more of the ball, and that's bad news for Charlton. Derby found by Douglas. Greer. Ferry. No pressure on Derby. Oh, except that he put on himself. Greer. Austin going for it. Austin! And Randolph smothered it, and it's a corner.
Well, we said the impetus was gaining from Swindon. There's another piece of evidence to back that up there. Very tight again, but look at Randolph. Comes out, makes himself big. Does exceptionally well. Stays on his feet well, doesn't he? And makes it difficult. Important save.
Well, there's a crowd scene around Darren Randolph. Painter in there, Austin in there, Greer in there, and Jean-Francois was in there. He's been called out, along with Charlton's Dion Burton.
It's a pity you didn't all see that one in the first half. Their arms all over the place.
Well, the Swindon fans, around 3,000 of them here, wondering whether this can bring them level on aggregate. In the end, it's man Mooney who gets it away. Derby. Now Ward. Gets it back from Jean-Francois. Wasn't really expecting it back. An hour gone. And Swindon, having already made the early substitution of their goalkeeper, are about to make a second change. Forward by Cuthbert. Painter backheads.
For the first time, air of panic around the ground.
That's a foul into the back of Austin, who has begun to get into proceedings after a very quiet first half.
Yeah, straight through the back of him there.
Swindon showing some character here. Now they need some firepower. Tossed in by McGovern. That's Douglas going for it, still looking for his first Swindon goal. It's his 51st game for them tonight. All protected well by Ward. Derby. And good reach by Miguel Llera.
Certainly was needed to be as well, because Austin and Painter were on the prowl there. The ball's playing, it's a decent flick, and look, two of them against the one, and one comes out on top.
Here's Reed. The tackle well judged by Stephen Derby.
Swindon have done better second half to stop that ball coming up to Dion Burton as much. First half, a lot of it was sticking. It was bringing players into the game, not so much the second half.
Bailey. It's good play by McGovern, but the error was in quickly again. Swindon scored their second goal on Friday on a counter-attack. It was Ward, in fact, who got it. He's on the ball here. Charlton have got numbers back, though. Jean-Francois giving Sam a taste of his own medicine. By Phil Smith, who knew where he was going to head it to and was a confident executor of the plan.
Bit of deja vu there. Dion Burton bearing down on the goalkeeper. We saw his goal in the first leg, how important that was, his bravery as well.
Douglas did well. And again, they're striving so hard, Swindon. And their hopes at the moment being rekindled by the showing that they're giving in the second half. Still keeping Alan O'Brien waiting as the second substitute.
Difficult to keep the intensity up that Charlton showed in the first half, closing down the work rates. some stage you're going to have a little bit of a blip and the opposition will come back into it. He's on Strictly Come Forward, doesn't he, there?
Is it number 20 they were trying to tell us? He's coming off Billy Painter, who was patched up and pressed into service to that tight hamstring that kept him out on Friday. So with Alan O'Brien, who started that first leg on the left of midfield, coming on, reverting back to the plan that served them so well against Charlton before, with Danny Ward now up with Austin. Here's Douglas. Greer. Borrowdale's header away. Ferry going in. Austin, the flag's up. Whether if Ferry had kept going, he would have been onside, surely.
Did he say exactly that? He's pleading for him to get out the way. Look at him here, brave there. Well, he was stood offside there, and that's why it's been given, but he was pleading with Austin to let him take it on.
Oh, that could have been payback time for Simon Ferry for the own goal.
It was close when he first hit it. Austin may have just been offside when he hit that ball, and obviously he was.
So Scott Wagstaff is going to replace slightly reluctant Lloyd Sam. A bit surprised to know that he was the man to be hooked here. Wagstaff, who's been voted again for the second time in his short career Charlton's Young Player of the Season.
Replacing him, please welcome number 16, Scott Wagstaff.
That surprised me. I think it surprised Sam. I think his forward play is excellent, and I think his defensive qualities have been shown. He tracks back well, helps his defenders out. Didn't look happy. Oh, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Gordon Greer. Well, that could be curtains for Swindon. Greer raised the foot, and Neil Swarbrick, the referee, has seen that as reckless and rash.
As soon as I saw it, I thought, what have you done there? What have you done? There's the ball headed. Dion Burton going for it legally. Look at that. And he's gone straight through him. What is he thinking? He can argue all he likes. Look at that. That is ridiculous. He's gone through, he's meant it, and he deserves to go off. No question.
He got the ball and could have just brought the foot down.
Of course he could. And when Danny sees that, I'm sure he'll be absolutely livid. Your team are just getting back into it, got a foothold, looking better, and he goes and does something as reckless as that.
Ready to take the free kick. Now it's the left-footed Vieira, and of course, should Swindon make what now would be a remarkable recovery, Greer wouldn't be able to play at Wembley. They'll certainly start next season, whichever division Swindon are in, with the repercussions of that moment of madness. Oh, O'Brien! Mooney! Smith came across. Reid. Kyle Reid. Oh, the slip at the crucial moment by Wagstaff. But it's swung dramatically back Charlton's way. Wagstaff again, just at a time where Swindon, captained by Gordon Greer, who should remember, were playing their way back into the picture. Now Charlton playing 11 against 10. A goal to the good on aggregate. Chance to regain some of the time on the ball that they spent in the first half.
Well, there was some blame thrown at the goalkeeper for the goal in the first half. What was he thinking there? But look at this for a save. Gets across quickly, just throws himself. Look how out of position he is there. Gets across, and just stays on his feet, makes himself big. Terrific save.
Well, that's why when you plan for these games, Gary, as a manager, you just can't legislate for what's going to happen. He's lost his goalkeeper, Danny Wilson. Bad luck, very bad luck. And now he's lost his captain, not bad luck. That was just rash play.
When I saw it, I thought, what has he done there? It wasn't as if Dion Burton had done anything badly there. He didn't put a foot up, he just chested it down. The next minute, he's got a boot straight through his ribs.
Borodale. Got out by Cuthbert. Alan O'Brien, who was brought on to play as a left-sided midfield man, has now got to be an emergency left-back, and we saw a moment or two ago with that wayward header that he might not be comfortable there. Jean-Francois has gone into the middle alongside Cuthbert. He'll be comfortable there. He's been playing in that position as a central defender.
Well, they had to get it sorted quickly. You saw the conversation between Danny Wilson and Peter Shirtliff.
Corner for Charlton. Oh, Smith at the second attempt.
It's the proverbial roller coaster, isn't it, for him?
Douglas. We're talking about managers going into playoffs and anticipating what might happen. Lee Clark's been here, the Huddersfield manager. He's leaving the ground to get his team ready for their match just up the road at Millwall, which you can see live with us tomorrow. It's Kenny Jackett's Millwall.
We've seen 10 men galvanised before. History shows it. Will it happen again? Late, isn't it? It's the toe in first, Douglas.
Swindon Town substitution replacing number 30, Simon Ferry, number 15,
Kevin Amankwa, who started the first game at right back, comes on for Simon Ferry.
Sensible move, that. The aerial threat there in the box.
McGovern eyeing up what's to his left, and also whether to go for goal. It goes left. Amankwa, wasn't very good defending by Charlton there, by Richardson, who might be turned away from it. Mooney. McGovern. Up and away by Borodale. Ball for Douglas. But, the whistle stops him. It's going to be a free kick to Swindon.
Been a good response, isn't it? Down to 10 men. Going to take the game to Charlton as much as they can. They know they're only that one behind.
Cuthbert meeting it. Oh, there's a break on for Charlton here, orchestrated by Bailey. Runners either side, it's about the right ball. He didn't find it.
Should have gone left. Should have gone to Reed, didn't.
McGovern seeing a bit of space as Charlton were overcommitted on the counter-attack themselves. And McGovern, is he taken down here? The ball's in the net from Ward. It's a goal for Swindon from Danny Ward. The 10 men have pulled it back level on aggregate. Charlton were on the charge, trying to wrap it up. And Randolph saying, where were you?
Oh, the blame being apportioned all over the place. I'll tell you what, give McGovern all the credit here. What a run this is. You look where he picks his ball up from. In his own half. Sees that space in front. Right, I'm going in this. I'm going to be positive. I'm going to make something happen. He does make something happen. And there's the easy tapping, but it was all made by McGovern's run. Didn't get the free kick, but that's about gambling, carrying on, and he gets his luck for doing that. Scuffs it into his path, through the goalkeeper's legs. And like I said, they knew they were only one goal behind.
Wagstaff. Ward has now scored in both legs of this extraordinary semi-final. 2-1 to the home side here, as it was on Friday night. But it's Reid. It might not stay that way for long. Reid forces a corner.
Well, I'll tell you what, Phil Parkinson will be livid when he sees that. How far that McGovern was allowed to run.
The 18-year-old on loan from Premier League Bolton Wanderers, played a couple of times in the Premier League as a substitute right at the start of this season. He's certainly finishing in the headlines. All headed away by Derby for Swindon. It's going to loop behind off Dion Burton's head.
Well, it's the third one he's had like that, isn't it? Just needed a little cushioned header here. A little flick, gets too much on it. And again, Smith tries to come, would have got nowhere near it.
Well, Swindon have rung their changes. What they've done, they've got a Mankwa at right back. Derby's come across to left back. Been going through the left back. Suddenly, Alan Shearer not fit to start the game. Jean-Francois played in that position at the beginning. With a small but rather unconvincing stint by O'Brien. And now Derby's across on this side. What do you do here if you're Swindon? You dig in and just play for... It's a long time to play for penalties, isn't it?
Well, I think they've got to go for it in normal time. They just fancy themselves to get a winner rather than sit back, because if it does stay like this, they know they've got 30 minutes extra time to play.
Semedo, his header to Reid. Borrowdale pushing forward down the left. Mooney through the middle. What Danny Wilson has done, I think, is given himself a securer back four after the sending off.
He has, and he's got 3 in midfield and he's got 2 up front, so you can see the plan there. Most people maybe would put 4 in midfield, left 1 up front. He still fancies his team can do this.
O'Brien hasn't played much this season. He pointed out on Friday, a very injury-hit campaign. Only started 4 games. Mooney. Reid. Borrowdale tries to get an option again on the outside. Reid likes to shoot.
No, you can't do that as a back four. You cannot back off and allow Reid to have a shot. Borrowdale had got to his left but chose to go for glory. Tries to smash it too hard, and it's not a good effort.
Different mood for Phil Parkinson now. And for the Charlton supporters. Thinking surely it can't go wrong now. In the position they were in. Against 10 men.
I said before, 10 men are sometimes galvanised. History has shown it before, and it's happened again. I'm not saying Charlton aren't going to win it, but what a chance Swindon have given themselves.
Reid. Semedo. Here's Wagstaff. Made it awkward for Cuthbert. Smacked forward by Derby. Retrieved by Christian Daly. Ferry own goal. Backed up by a second from David Mooney. It's a fine first half. Charlton. Bailey's offside here.
He doesn't think he is. It's a good line kept by Swindon back four there. There's the ball played. How close is that? You just say, oh, fractionally off. It looked worse when it actually came to Bailey. The ball was played not a great deal in it at all.
Austin going in. Well, athletically, the tempo stays the same. So just wonder about the psychology of this now. Charlton thinking, got to get going again. We can't blow it from this position. Wagstaff looked for a fraction of a second as though it was going to maybe drift awkwardly for Smith. Quick feet from the goalkeeper made it a straightforward catch.
It's going to be a better cross than that.
Douglas.
Phil Parkinson thinking of a substitution himself. I think Semedo could come off, couldn't he? Protected midfielder. Somebody further forward.
So Semedo's carrying a booking as well, and he's only one reckless tackle away from giving the referee the chance to even the count.
Definitely.
Yera. Borrowdale. Reed. On the edge of the area is Wagstaff. Behind him is Bailey. That's going away off the head of Scotty Cuthbert.
And the anticipation there, wasn't there, when Bailey was charging onto this one. Comes out to him, he's onto it in a flash. It is going wide. Defender still has to defend. Comes off the outside of his foot.
Corner for Charlton. Looking to regain the lead, regain their composure against this depleted Swindon town. Depleted, but not dismayed. And that was a high one on O'Brien, who's felt it around the knee. Derby. Use all their substitutes, Swindon, so O'Brien's got to try and run this off. At the moment down to 9 men. Bailey. Wagstaff. O'Brien trying to get in there. Bailey, who hit the post from that sort of position at Swindon. Burton. Richardson. Feel it's a chance for Charlton here. Certainly was a chance for Theon Burton, whose headers have been high and off target, but that one worked the goalkeeper.
Well, what a chance this is. Beautiful ball in from Richardson. Look at the time and space he had here. Could have chested it down and then had a go himself. Acres of space. Not the most powerful header, comfortable height. Well, massively on top, aren't they? Charlton with attempts. Also on target. A lot better, but still all square.
Reed. Working with Borrowdale. And he wants it to feet. Reed again. That's a wish to score. Richardson. Semedo. On from Reed. In the way. Free kick given against Mooney.
The referee said handball.
Well, it's an epic evening one way or another. And there might be an extra helping coming their way. 15 minutes each way. I agree with you, Gary, that Swindon's best chance is to try and nick something before the 90 minutes are played.
That's why Danny's gone with the formation he has. 3 in midfield, 2 up front, why not?
Reed. Wagstaff's got forward, Burton's forward. Mooney coming round the back. They might just reach him here, David Mooney. Carried away by the body of Smith.
He has to pull that back for me. That angle is too acute. Cuts it back, they've got a chance.
Tenacious play by O'Brien for Swindon. Bailey. Quick didn't come off, and the crowd didn't really appreciate the... He wasn't really showboating. He thought he could get himself out of that position, but it always looks a bit self-indulgent when it doesn't work. Burton. Now goes Jean-Francois. Cross comes Mooney, but the whistle had already gone against Dion Burton, using that upper body strength again, but unfairly this time.
Well, when this ball comes across to Mooney, look at the angle here. Just pull it back. You can't go there. Look, pleading for that ball.
Please show your appreciation to number 23, David Mooney.
His last involvement. And here is the evergreen Nicky Forster on loan. The word we mentioned so much about these two teams, the lone players.
39, Nicky Forster.
Nicky Forster. 16 goals for Brighton this season, a couple in his short time as a Charlton player. Quick.
It's another surprise for me. I just thought Semedo's the man to come off, the protected midfield man, against 10 men.
McGovern. Off Richardson's head. O'Brien. Douglas, good movement by Derby. Off the ball. Draw defenders away from O'Brien. Good challenge again by Semedo. Switch quickly by Burton to Reed. Getting within shooting range again. He's thought better of it this time, but Bailey likes a crack. By Jean-Francois. 4 minutes left plus added time away from extra time at the Valley. Reed. Yella. Room here for Richardson. He has a pop. Jean-Francois again in the way.
Swindon won't mind that. Shots from distance. That's what Charlton are throwing at them at the moment. You have to be patient and work their way round if they possibly can.
Just had to carry that ball then. He was waiting for the inexperienced Charlie Austin to make the right run. Didn't quite happen. This gave the boys at the back in blue a bit of breathing space. Forster's ball was a clever one. Reed's cross, and plenty of ooze, but he knows it was a wasted opportunity.
Keep that in play. Good ball to play him in. When you get the ball at your feet like this, just try and deliver. Keep it in play. Doesn't, just goes harmlessly over. Takes the pressure off. Swindon back.
Bailey above Austin. Douglas trying to get it wide towards O'Brien. That's clever play by Wagstaff. Now Bailey. Wagstaff just wants it rolled forward to him, but it goes to Reed instead.
Wagstaff was in a terrific position. Just lift your head up.
Here comes Douglas. Austin. For Swindon to protect the possession. They have to work so hard to try and get it. Charlton having the extra man. They need to use the full width of this excellent Valley pitch. Stretch Swindon. Try and break them here with a goal which surely, if it happens now, would take Charlton to Wembley. Richardson, good movement by Forster.
Francois does well there, looks more comfortable in that position than he did against Floyd Sam.
Richardson's cross, and tough but pretty tight on Burton there. Burton himself wasn't complaining. Semedo has only ever scored once for Charlton in over 100 appearances now. Reed, Borrowdale, the leash off for Semedo. Kyle Reed, he comes from South London, though he started in the East End with West Ham. Bailey, can he get within shooting range here? Bailey, parried away by Smith. And the offside flag goes up against Forster for following up. The captain very nearly delivered.
He certainly did. He's been one of those nights for Smith in goal, hasn't it? Just offside when it's played, and he goes after it again, but it's a decent save. Good strike by Bailey, clean strike, good height, but parries it away with strength there, away from the danger area.
Austin having a bit of a go at Danny Ward for not being within range.
I think he's entitled to as well. They are playing as a pair up front, get close together.
There's Ward back helping the defensive side of Swindon. Austin with a go here against Lara, who's brought him down. Now, what colour's the car going to send him off? Well, whether that was a goal-scoring opportunity, I'll leave Gary Birtles to give you the final audit on.
Well, Christian Daly's saying I was covering round. Look, he's going with his arms out. He said I was covering round.
But Charlie Austin suddenly sprung into life here, fancied his chances against Liera.
Well, he did superbly, didn't he? There's the pace, but there you see Christian Daly coming round. How close? That's crude. It's a massive foul. There, it's all about Daly's position. Does he come through and cut that off? Well, for me, I think you've got to give that, haven't you? You've got to give a red there.
Well, I would say another thing, Gary, that Liera should have got a yellow card for hanging on to the ball just before half-time, and that, if that had been a second yellow, we'd have got what we've got now. So, but it is a straight red. It's another twist to this extraordinary turn. Phil Parkinson, who had most of the luck going in the first half, is beginning to think now that the fates are against him and Charlton. And Swindon have got a free kick. They've got the prospect of playing level numbers now. And it was Cuthbert who came round the back but couldn't keep the header down. What an amazing football match.
Oh, fantastic. Has been all season in League One. Really has.
Reed. Now Bailey. Still time for Charlton. But Swindon have dug themselves out of a deep, deep hole to take this now to seconds away from extra time. Danny Wilson would have called for character. What he wouldn't have called for was Gordon Greer's high foot. They got his captain sent off. That looked offside against Burton coming back. Flag stayed down. It's a free kick.
Didn't look
could well
offside.
be that before extra time. So Neil Swarbrick has shown a red card to a central defender on each team. Gordon Greer and Miguel Liera. And remember, when Swindon came here, Burton actually got sent off in that game, in the league game here in on Boxing Day, when Charlton ended with 9 men. Austin. Borrowdale trying to see it out. Did he get the last touch? No, says the assistant.
think the Liera going off as well. He was dominant in the air, wasn't he? Alongside Daly. They've lost that strength, that height now.
Reid, maybe one last attack here. Free kick for Charlton.
It is a block, isn't it? It is crude. The best defending you'll see. Just got to concentrate on quality here. Put it in an area that people can attack.
Get this right, Charlton, and you're going to Wembley. Oh, it was a fine last touch by Austin. There's still time for the corner to be taken. I think there is.
Excellent defending from the centre forward there.
Taken by Borrowdale. Jean-Francois got ahead to it. That was the last touch. Well, it all seemed to be going Charlton's way. But Danny Ward struck for Swindon when they were down to 10 men to take us to extra time. 3-3 on aggregate. We'll be back for that extra time shortly.
So after 90 minutes, we go into extra time.
We're heading into extra time at the Valley. Pulsating first half. Charlton 2 goals up in the first half, going ahead on aggregate. And Swindon having a player sent off, Gordon Gray, in the second half, before the 10 men came back to make it 3-3 overall. And then the players' numbers were evened up as well, with Miguel Liera sent off for Charlton. It's been playoff football, playoff tension, playoff goals, playoff madness on some occasions. But we're heading for an extra 30 here at the Valley. Phil Parkinson's team talk and Danny Wilson's team talk, absolutely crucial. Chris Kamara, what a night.
What a night, absolutely incredible. I mean, Gordon Gray nearly cost his side the game, that's one thing for certain. But Miguel Liera, for me, saved his side. I think he saved his side. Obviously, we don't know the outcome of it, but Charlie's finished so many things off this season that I think he's took a red card for the team.
10 men again, or even on men, 10 men both sides. Does that level things up totally now?
Oh, without a doubt. You know, it's well, Swindon are on the ascendancy for me. They've showed terrific character to come back like they have. Absolutely magnificent.
Let's go into extra time now with our commentators, Gary Birtles and Martin Tyler.
Thank you, George. We asked for more of the same from Friday night. We've certainly had that, and more to boot. So 3-3 on aggregate. 10 men each. Charlton start extra time, 15 minutes each way.
I don't think anybody's surprised by this performance from these two teams. League One has been absolutely superb for entertainment this season, all the way through. And this has been no different. Credit to everybody.
Well, it's time to kiss the badge. It's a Swindon fan who must have been despairing earlier in the evening.
You've got to give Danny Wilson a huge amount of credit for the way he set up when they went down to 10 men. Playing 3 in midfield and leaving 2 up front, intent on getting back into the game.
Yeah, they've got 4-4-2 on their shirts. They had to change that to 4-3-2. Ball by Kyle Reid.
He goes with both hands up there, no surprise there.
Douglas. Just a matter of the aggregate score here. Swindon wanted to strike again, and Charlton with a score again that wouldn't have an impact as 2 away goals against 1, so to speak.
Referee got that right. Saw the second cannon off the legs. It's a brave referee to send players off on a big occasion like this, and he's done well on both occasions.
Douglas. Semedo is playing in the middle of the defence now after the departure of Llera. O'Brien, it's over Ward. Austin suddenly tuned on the speed to embarrass Llera in the sending off incident late in the 90 minutes. So whichever club gets to the final at Wembley, they will have a player suspended. Here's Butt. Wagstaff to hit it. Hit it well.
What a strike this is, by the way. Low back lift, just pinged it, didn't he? Burton again holds it up well, lays it back, one touch. Look at the low back lift, hardly any at all. Gets the power generated by doing exactly that, look. Skips one bounce and just scrapes the outside of that post. Smith was scrambling all the way across.
These playoffs are such a fix for football fans when the season for most clubs has come to an end.
There's a lot of criticism, wasn't there? Everybody saying the team that finished in third deserved to go off, go up automatically, but generates such excitement.
And everyone now expects it, you know the formula when the season starts. Here's O'Brien. Ward's left it to O'Brien. It probably wasn't the wiser thing to do because Christian Daly was able to pick it off for Charlton. Here goes Borough. Reed. Burton's in there.
What a delivery that was, by the way. Wonderful. Inviting an attack there, didn't come.
What a chance for someone out there to make themselves a hero. We're still talking about Peter Shirtliff's goals in 1987.
Substitution for the Addies, please show your appreciation to number 24, Kyle Reid. And replacing him, please welcome number 8,
Stunned by some of the substitutions again, that surprised me.
Thierry Racon. He would have been very upset to have been left out for his work at County Ground on Friday night. They switched to Bailey to the middle of midfield. Needed to be made, so someone had to lose out, and Semedo talked enough about what he brings to the occasion. Well, here's Forster. He's confident, composed, very experienced. Wonderful save, because Smith had to wait and wait and not commit himself. Beautifully done by Forster in every respect except the direction in the end of the shot, just too close to the keeper.
Swindon nearly shot themselves in the foot there. Douglas gave it away in a really good area for Swindon up the pitch, and the next minute it's nearly in the back of the net. Smith's just had one of those nights, hasn't he? A lot of things good, a few not so good. A good run by Forster there, one-on-one. And another man gets back in, he sidesteps one and another, trying to curl it beyond. And that's good, strong arms yet again. Fortunately, no follow-up. And if they do get through, he'll have a few tales to tell, won't he?
Headed away by Daly. Douglas trying to pin Charlton back here. Ward. It was handball. Ferry had one angle on it, the assistant on the other, and neither agreed with the Swindon appeals. Burton goes down, no foul. Taken up by McGovern. Away from Austin.
Talking about the substitutions from Charlton again, it really surprised me because look at the three have gone off. Sam, Reid and Mooney, three productive players for them. Three players who can win you a game.
Well, Swindon on the say-so of the referee, who had a good look at it, Picked off Richardson. It's a corner to Swindon. Coming to the midway point in the first period of extra time. Swindon came here with a lead. Lost it in the first half, then went behind on aggregate. It's Cuthbert. Now, what sort of break are we going to have here with Racon leading the charge? Wagstaff herring ahead of him. Still, Terry Racon. Forster. And went out off Nicky Forster.
His first touch let him down in a big way there, didn't it? Racon did well. Got off quite a few challenges here. Lots of space there. Just get your first touch right. You're in. One-on-one. Doesn't happen, and then get the goal kick.
Watching on with massive interest. Millwall and Huddersfield. Remember that second leg of the second semi-final. No goals in the first leg. We need the New Den tomorrow. Jean-Francois. McGovern. O'Brien, Republic of Ireland international. Into Ward. Promising from the Premier League. Austin, they knew. Let him get off the ground and jump. There's danger. Blocked him off cleverly.
And you're tiring. 10 against 10. When you're on the ball, your instinct is just to put it in the box, and sometimes that's not the right instinct. Keep the basics, keep passing, keep playing. Try and move your opposition around a bit.
His experiences much outweighed Austin's youthful promise. It only takes a moment, as Liera found out.
Pure acceleration, wasn't it, from Austin that counted for Liera. What Swindon do have on the pitch now is a little bit of pace. O'Brien, we've seen, use that on a couple of occasions. Ward, Austin. Get into areas where they can hurt Charlton. What a chance.
As I mentioned earlier, Swindon have been involved in 3 penalty shootouts already this season. They won 1 and lost the other 2. The defeats was at Premier League Wolverhampton Wanderers, the Carling Cup. Here's Racon. Bailey. Racon. Forster. Likes to get down that channel and hook the ball in. Reminds me of your old teammate Trevor Francis, who could do that when he got wide on the right. That's Racon! It was dipping in for sure, but Phil Smith, now he's hurt as well.
Well, what else can happen in this game? What a save this is. I think he just sees this late and reacts, and he's fell awkward again. See, Racon meant that. He's gone for that. What a save that is. What a tip with the fingers that is.
Well, he was absolutely at the full extent of his reach there. He's up and ready to go on with it. Charlton scored the first goal tonight from a corner from this side that Smith couldn't deal with. It led to the own goal from Ferry. Corner again.
Good pressure from Charlton.
Super atmosphere. Superb game. Charlton trying to tilt it back their way again. Racon into it by Austin, who got the final touch here. Ian Smedley, the assistant, decides it's Charlton's ball.
It's all about not switching off now. Concentrate.
Good spell this from Charlton. Headed away powerfully by Cuthbert. Semedo. To use the extra space. Charlton. Who's come on very positively. Rakon. Wagstaff. Semedo. Now Bailey. A game of extraordinary ebbs and flows. Flowing Charlton's way at the moment. Borrowdale. Rakon. Chance for Borrowdale to cross it straight away. Spurn that. Put it in. Comes out here to Richardson. A thrilling strike in a thrilling football match.
What a clean strike this is. Fantastic technique. They're inviting to shoot. The crowd are saying shoot. He obliges, and just off the post. Good first touch. Steadies himself beautifully, and hits the outside of the post.
When it
Just think
went
there's
past
nothing
the
else to come
goalkeeper,
in.
you thought it was going to bulge the net.
Fantastic strike. You just think when the game gets to this stage, can anything else happen? And it keeps happening.
Well, it has to happen, because we have to have a winner and a loser here. When the playoff format started, it went to a third game. Charlton will tell you that. They knocked out Leeds United. Swindon will tell you that. They got through against Gillingham, which is in those days on neutral grounds. Here's Bailey. Austin finding his legs again. Finding Bailey's legs a bit as well. Derby. And from Liverpool is showing he can play left back as well as right back. Here's O'Brien. Straight play by Nicky Bailey. Charlton to the core now. Look at the room here for Rakon. But the old stager.
Somebody's looking for glory. He went for it. Didn't come up for him. But there are gaps starting to appear all over the place. Big gaps. Rakon again was the one who created that, and the poor effort by his standards.
Edge of the seat stuff. One added minute before half-time in extra time. Bailey.
I do feel if somebody's going to win the game for either side, it's going to be one of the substitutes. Fresh legs, bit of pace out there, bit of craft.
Forster certainly came closest to doing that. His first period of extra time, that was not kindly enough for Smith, who stopped Forster. Daly. Well, nearly for Nicky Forster, but we are, as we were at the start of the first period of extra time. It's 0-0 at the break.
And there's going to be a winner tonight, but you'll be a brave man or woman to predict which of these teams will go through. Can you pick them apart, Chris?
It's magnificent. What a game it is. It's absolutely out of this world. Both sets of players, both managers, both sets of supporters, absolutely outstanding. I criticised the goalkeeper for the first 40 minutes of that game. Since then, he must have got himself at half-time. He's been speaking to George Wood. He got his angles right. He's done absolutely superb. And he's kept them in the game, Swindon, because he's been terrific.
How much influence does it manage now with just 15 more minutes to go before penalties?
Well, you've got to keep your players going. You've got to keep believing the confidence. That's very, very important now. No negative thoughts whatsoever now. You've got to get them all. Look, that's what Danny's saying now. Keep going. Come on. Come on. Give me that little bit extra. Doesn't matter now. We can rest. We've got plenty of time between the final. This is it. This is the most important 15 minutes of this football club, and maybe on the penalty situation. Phil Parkinson, exactly the same. Come on, boys. Get going. We need that extra little bit. You know, who's going to run that extra little mile for us? Who can actually have the guile to just win this game for us? You know, we've seen some terrific strikes, both ends. Swindon are not as good in that last 15 minutes as they were with the last 15 minutes of 90 minutes.
Would either side want penalties at this stage?
Well, no, I wouldn't have thought so. They both want to go and win it in normal time. You don't want the anguish. It puts a lot of players through the pressure cooker, and a few of them won't want it at all. They'll be wanting to get this done in the next 15.
We've seen goalkeepers with crap now. That's about everything in this match so far.
To be fair to Phil, obviously he's not played a lot this season, you know, so you think they don't work that much. They're not that worked in training very much, apart from what they do on the line. He's been coming out to the edge of his box. He's been trying to read the situation, so his legs have been going through the mill a little bit more than the rest of everybody.
Tension is high as well, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I still can't call it, George.
Impossible to call. Let's go back to our commentators to call the final 15 minutes before a possible penalty shootout. Gary Birtles and Martin Tyler.
Thank you, George. Well, Alan Coe obviously knows about penalties. He was the manager of Charlton, won on penalties at Wembley. Mark Kinsella was captain for Charlton that day. He scored in the shootout, but we're still a bit away from that after a goalless first period of extra time. Still 3-3 on aggregate. 2-1, remember, to Swindon in the first leg on Friday. 2-1 after 90 minutes here to Charlton. Player aside, sent off. Austin. Douglas. Here's O'Brien, he's behind Richardson. Comes back Alan O'Brien's way. Oh, he was hoping, I think, McGovern might be able to burst onto that, but...
Totally the wrong choice there, didn't he? Thought he might go by himself. We're talking about the pace of O'Brien, uses it there. Doesn't put a decent ball in this time. I thought, yeah, go and back yourself there. Just picks the wrong ball in between two.
Swindon have a free kick. Up by Douglas. O'Brien trying to get there, but in the end he wasn't the only one for Swindon. But the fact that they had two players darting for a loose ball is encouraging for Danny Wilson.
It is. I think the wrong one went for it. I think O'Brien should have gone for it. He was on the front foot. Decided too late. He saw the funny side. Something there.
Yeah, Simon Ferry. He was a bit of a chatterbox, but certainly wasn't chattering after he'd knocked the ball into his own net. The opening goal of the evening seemed to have just turned it away from Swindon. Daly. Drop for Forster, and it's wondered when Smith was going to get there, but get there he did.
Oh, any way you can. Any way you can. That's a decent ball. And look, the keeper, he nearly slips over here. Look, he does slip over. Luckily, he claims it. You couldn't write this game for him, could you?
Not just for him. Samankwa. Banged away by Darren Randolph. Parkinson acting as ball boy. Try and get Racon. Play this game at as high a tempo as possible. Not playing it anymore. Sent off. Miguel Llera won't be allowed to play in the final if Charlton get there. Racon away. Jean-Francois, who's been happier at centre-back than he was at left-back against Lloyd Sam.
Good build-up. That's the way to get in on the opposition. Just play it, 5-yard triangles, create space.
Corner for Charlton.
He's been quite an inspiration since he came on, hasn't he?
Goes Christian Daly, across at the run goes Fraser Richardson, the right back, whose job it is to take the left-sided corners. Well, touched by the taller Manqua. Casey O'Brien. For McGovern. Possibilities here for Swindon. Ward is onside. It's on his good left foot. Not quite good enough. But they worked it well. He held his position. Charlton were trying to step out. Flag stayed down.
Again, McGovern does well. Holds his position, you're right, stays onside. Begging for it in the box, Austin there. Goes for glory himself. Backs himself, tries to curl it. Doesn't get enough bend on it, does he? There's Austin thinking, if only you'd put it in my area. Look at the attempts there, massively on top. And look at that, on target as well. Domination from the home side.
Here comes McGovern for the visitors. Derby. Still so much in the melting pot. This is only to get to the final.
Whoever gets there will be glad of the extended rest.
Yeah, that's a really good point. It's a week on Saturday. Ward, O'Brien starting to have a greater impact on proceedings.
That's Paul.
Derby, Douglas can turn. Nothing wide to the right. Ward penalised. Swindon just weren't at the races in the first half of regulation time. They've somehow grown into this second leg. Very eventful evening at the Valley.
Decent defending by Derby, trying to put it out. For a throw-in.
Corner been given. Right, the corner flag, the incident. And Borrowdale. There's a bit of Dion Burton just trying to nudge Manqua when the ball was in the air, so that he might win the header.
He's a big physical presence, isn't he? Manqua at the back. Big help from set pieces against his team.
Right under Danny Wilson at Bristol City. The current Swindon manager did take Bristol City to a playoff final 6 years ago, because it wasn't at Wembley. These days it was at Millennium Stadium in Cardiff. Judged by Daly, but here's Ward picking up the pieces. At pace too for Austin!
There we see the problem for Charlton. O'Brien on one side, Ward on the other with that pace. He accelerates away when the ball comes down here. Daly does a decent job. Look at the acceleration, can't keep up with him. Tries to pick Austin out, and that's good pressure. Did enough just to put him off.
He's limping now. It'll take some patching up these players, whichever side of the final result they're on. It has to be decided here, and we're getting ever nearer towards a penalty decider. But here's Wagstaff. Bailey lurking on the edge of the area, lurking with real intent. Back on as well, always rising.
Takes a deflection, probably a good job it does. Bailey does well here. I think he should have fed it out left. He got a chance there. Forster's on the left, goes for the shot. Comes out to rack on, and big deflection. It was curling Goldwood's.
Daly in the mix, forced by the goalkeeper. Christian Daly jumping for it. By Mankwa, by Jean-Francois rather. And the goalkeeper's come, he's down. And Douglas has got the ball, fortunately for Phil Smith.
Kenny gets nowhere near, does he? He's had 3 or 4 moments that are quite comical.
Here's Kevin and Mankwa at pace. In the middle, Danny Ward's ended up on the deck. Be a free kick to Swindon. Adventurous Mankwa.
It's a silly one to give away, isn't it? I really thought it was a throw-in. Spun back in and stay on your feet. You've got Borrowdale there for it, just as cover.
Well, we mentioned McGovern's set-piece skill. This is a time to dust it down, unfurl it, and show it to the watching world. Put it in the right place for someone in blue to attack it.
There's bodies everywhere. There's bodies everywhere.
It might have been a chance for Mankwa to attack it. We'll never know because he was shoved to the ground. This is Jean-Francois. O'Brien.
It's got to be better, hasn't it, when there's no pressure on you. Just hang it into a decent area. Can't be perfect all the time, but just keep it in play.
Still nothing has changed in extra time, of which we have 5 minutes to go.
Well, we said before the game it's too close to call. We said at half-time it's too close to call, and at full-time. One of those ties.
Wagstaff. Derby trying to get the better of him, but Wagstaff done very well. That's just wide by Burton, who just got a touch of cramp or strained a muscle in the considerable effort to spin and shoot.
Wagstaff does unbelievably well here. Look at this, beautifully cut back. Great first touch, swivels, and he's so unlucky. First touch was sublime. And he's just trying to curl that ball in. Took it early, so unlucky. That first touch at this stage of the game from Dion Burton there was absolutely magnificent. He set himself up for a half a chance. Just couldn't get the ball on target.
It's good wide play too from Wagstaff. Talking about too close to call. I remember in our opening, George Gavin talking about penalties. That seems a long, long time ago. He might just be a real prophet of the night.
We always say credit to both teams, but you have to give them credit. It's been an absolutely fantastic display of desire. There's been comical moments in it. There's been terrific bits of ability. It's just had everything. Sending offs. It's a pleasure to be here.
Jean-Francois. So say all of us, Mr. Birtles. Here is Racon. Room here. The non-stop Nicky Bailey. Trying to drive Charlton forward. It's a clever ball.
Wonderful ball by Bailey, wasn't it?
Semedo is not a stranger to playing in the middle of the defence. Derby. Here's Douglas. The angle for Alan O'Brien. Austin's gone into the middle, blocked by Richardson. Put it out by Daly.
O'Brien with his pace should be looking to take defenders on rather than just trying to put the ball in the box all the time. Could be a match winner.
There's a huge testimony to the fitness levels of these two teams. Sometimes extra time itself can slow proceedings. Very often 10 against 10 slows proceedings with caution being brought in. Hasn't happened here.
I see no real sign of cramp. Dion Burton just twinged a little bit there when he went for the shot. But Nobody's been lying prostrate with a leg in the air.
Borrowdale. Bailey. Wagstaff. Richardson. Burton not quite. Forster not quite. Douglas.
Well, whatever happens, both of these teams deserve a standing ovation when it's all over. For the entertainment they've provided this evening.
We are a minute away from penalties. Semedo. Here's Wagstaff. 2 to take on. Brian trying to help Derby. Does help Derby. Free kick against Scott Wagstaff.
He tried to do the right thing. He tried to take his man on. Didn't work. It's the way to do it. This is the belief that he can make something happen. O'Brien does well in the defensive area this time, helping out.
We go to penalties to decide the Wembley place. It's been a night about goalkeepers. David Lucas only lasted a couple of minutes. His stand-in, Phil Smith, has had 1 or 2 awkward moments, but some great ones, and he'll be a key figure now it comes to the shootout, as will be Darren Randolph of Charlton. We go to penalties. It's finished 3-3 here on aggregate.
Sponsored by Bet365.
Penalties at the Valley. Will it be a night for a goalkeeper? Phil Smith came on in the opening seconds of this match as a substitute. And he may have been at fault early on, but he certainly kept Swindon in the game, with a touch of cramp thrown in as well. Could be his night, Phil Smith, that's for sure. It'll certainly be one of the goalkeepers' nights. Darren Randolph, Phil Smith, preparing for penalties here. And this is the 4th time Swindon have been into a penalty shootout this season. Let's go back to our commentators again. Gary Birtles, Martin Tyler.
Thank you, George. Yes, Swindon lost in the League Cup at Wolves on penalties. They beat Exeter in the trophy on penalties. They went out of the trophy at Norwich on penalties. Phil Smith was in goal for 2 of those 3 escapades. So all sorts of protocol here about naming the 5 takers, which managers have some idea going into the game, but it's a long way off. They don't know who's still going to be on the pitch at the end, and of course we've only got 10 aside to choose from, Gary.
That makes a difference, doesn't it? How many of the penalty takers are now sat on the bench?
Well, Gordon Greer, actually, who was sent off for Swindon, was the player who failed at Molineux. He hit the post then, so maybe they're, with the greatest respect, well shot of him at the moment.
Well, your plans could go to pot, couldn't they, because of substitutions?
Yeah. I think Liera would have liked to have taken one, because he's a free kick man, isn't he?
Yeah.
But he, of course, was sent off. Charlton player dismissed.
Well, you look on the bench, and the 3 have gone off for Charlton. Sam Reed and Mooney, I'm sure they might have been involved.
Well, the one that Swindon were victorious in against Exeter, Phil Smith made 2 saves. Interesting to see whether the officials are hot on the keepers staying on their line. Often a contentious issue. course, we talk about the goalkeepers. The pressure's not really on them. It's on the men who have the ball on the penalty spot, 12 yards from goal, who are expected to score.
There's massive pressure. There's at the Charlton end. It'll go quiet when Dion Burton takes it. If he can make a bottom dollar when Swindon step up, there'll be all sorts of chants and shouts.
Come on up and over, let's see you, come on!
All together, Andy Woodman, the goalkeeping coach of Charlton, beside Phil Parkinson. So here we go. The shootout starts with Dion Burton for Charlton, who blasted in.
Didn't expect him to miss. Leader, experience, wanted the first penalty, took the first penalty and smashed it. Not a chance for the keeper. This is how you take penalties. Smash it hard. Smith gets us the right way, but just too much power.
On steps John Paul McGovern.
How do you feel with all that noise?
Randolph dancing, but dancing in vain. Coolly done. 1-1.
Cool. Very coolly done. No run up. Sometimes worry about that. Just two paces. Sends the keeper the wrong way, right in the side netting. They do practice for these now, don't they? In training, and rightly so.
Well, the top scorer took the first one. The second highest scorer takes the second for Charlton. Their skipper, Nicky Bailey. Oh, it's wide and well wide.
Well, didn't expect that. He was very good in the second part of the game, and that's well wide, well high. Dear me, that's a shocker. And he knows it. Looked very confident when he strode up. That just shows you how intense it is down there.
Well, not looking so confident, almost limping up was Charlie Austin.
46 goals in 46 games for Poole Town last year. How's his bottle?
Biggest game of his career, and that's how his bottle is. He's full on, and the advantage is with Swindon Town in the shootout.
Didn't look the greatest, did it? Keeper guesses, goes one way, straight down the middle with the side foot. Not convincing, doesn't matter. Nestles in the back of the net.
You wouldn't expect Nicky Forster, after his lengthy career, to be fazed by this. But even the most experienced have their nerve challenged, but he answers the challenge.
Yeah, total belief in his ability to slot that in the bottom corner. Keeper again, has to guess. Guess is wrong. No save yet by a goalkeeper. Well,
Amankwa was 2 out of 2 in those earlier shootouts that we talked about. So Danny Wilson will have a fair bit of confidence in one of the substitutes he's used tonight.
All right, Danny having confidence. Has he got the confidence?
He has.
Well, did Randolph get a touch on this one? It was a long run up, that was. Well, this time he does guess the right way. Side foot, just fingers on it, just couldn't keep it out. And he thought he got a chance. But again, not a strong enough hand.
Another of the Charlton veterans, Christian Daly, who began his career as a striker. He needs to strike this one well. Short approach and places it in the corner.
Fabulous penalty. Exactly what you'd expect from somebody with his experience. Keeps his team in it. Beautifully side-footed, slots in the bottom corner. Smith again, no chance, despite guessing the right way.
Well, how about this for an 18-year-old to be challenged? Danny Ward, who scored past Randolph at the county ground, scored past Randolph tonight. Up he comes for his penalty, and he scores past him again.
Brilliant. They say youth have no fear, and that certainly showed there. Fantastic composure. Sends a keep the wrong way again, and again it's in that side net, right in the corner. It takes a lot of belief and bottle, that does.
Well, Fraser Richardson has to score here, otherwise it's all over for Phil Parkinson. And Charlton. Here comes Richardson. And scoring he does. That's a terrific penalty.
Probably the best one for me in the situation he was put in there. Look at this. That is right at the postage stamp, right in the top corner. Fantastic pen under pressure. Well, here we go. Criticised a little bit for the one of the goals, didn't get the tackle in.
Stephen Darby. One clean strike of the ball away from Wembley for Swindon. On loan from Liverpool. He scores! Swindon will go to Wembley. They've come back from the dead at the Valley tonight. Make no mistake about that. It's the Valley of Despair for Charlton. But for Danny Wilson and his bright young team, well, they built a platform, they thought, on Friday. They seemed to dismantle it here in the first half in particular, and when Gordon Greer was sent off. But from despair comes total delight.
Well, the quality of the penalties were absolutely outstanding, apart from Bailey's, which was high, wide, and he's inconsolable. Understandably so, he'll feel the guilt of that for a long time.
They were last at Wembley 17 years ago in what turned out to be their last game under Glenn Hoddle, a player manager then. And Danny Wilson manages at Wembley for the first time. How his team have managed to get there is a long and involved story.
It certainly is. It's been an absolute delight to be here tonight, to be part of this. They won't think so, but you look back on what we've seen over the 90 minutes, extra time and penalties, and you just think, well, that's what we love about the game so much. Had everything in it. And to finish the game off with the quality we saw from the penalty spot, after all you've been through, is testament to how these players train, how they practice the penalties. Absolutely brilliant.
And remember that they scored the goal that took it to extra time when they were a man light. Phil Parkinson's team seemed to hold all the aces, but his skipper has struck a penalty wide in the shootout, and that in the end is the difference. And it's the football fans of Wiltshire that will march on Wembley on May the 29th. Well, let's join Patrick.
Phil, starting the night on the bench, can you believe the way this night's unfolded?
No, not really. I mean, coming up, people are saying, "Are you're nervous?" I've got nothing to be nervous for, really. Just going to go and enjoy it. And then I come out, couldn't find my shin pads. I come out, and then all of a sudden, Dave's on the floor. So I mean, it's unbelievable how it's turned out. And just happy for all these people there who worked so hard all year, all the supporters and that. It's just unbelievable.
Danny, an extraordinary game to watch. What was it like to play in?
Yeah, obviously we didn't get off to the best of starts, but thought we came out second half and we were brilliant. We passed it how we could do, and obviously we got the important goal.
When your captain got sent off, what were you thinking? Did you think it might be my responsibility to go and get us back into this?
You just got to take your chances, really. Just got to, someone gets sent off, just got to work that a bit harder. And I thought the team did great. We worked like 110% all the way through. It's just brilliant.
Greatest night of your career?
Yeah, without a doubt, unbelievable night.
Phil, just going into the penalties, what did David Lucas say to you? He probably would have obviously expected to be the man between the sticks.
To be honest, I don't think he said anything. He just gave me a hug. We've done. I think we've worked well all year together. We've got on. He come in the summer, I've learned so much stuff off of him. Good experience and that. It's unfortunate the way he got injured. That he's worked so hard all year. He should be enjoying this as well, so it's a shame.
And when you look over your shoulder at those fans, how does that feel?
It's amazing, right? Because we come into the playoffs as underdogs with a massive club like Charlton to play against, and it's worked in our favour. They maybe felt the pressure and that, and we've come out on top. It's unbelievable.
Danny, Wembley next.
Yeah, I can't wait. I cannot wait. I mean, if you look at that, I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, I've never experienced this, you know, it's my first time, only 19, but it's unbelievable feeling.
And Phil, you were a Millwall trainee, weren't you? Fancy them in the final?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I've still got a few friends there and that. I mean, even it'll be a tough game, but it'll be nice to see Millwall there and see my old friends in it.
Well done, lads. Well done. Danny's the Powerade man of the match. Phil, if you do the honours. Well done.
An incredible night at the Valley, but they seem so unique, these games, to the playoffs. We have so many of them, but they all seem so full of tension on the night. And Danny Wilson, they're probably the coolest man around, Chris Kamara.
Oh, without a doubt. He's got to be so proud of his players tonight. They showed tremendous character. When the odds looked totally against them, they came back and they had spirit, they had desire, they had pace, they had passion. And, I mean, you know, Charlton weren't too far behind them, I'd have to say, George. But at the end of the day, to do what they've done, and then the penalties were just absolutely out of this world. You know, every single one of them from the Swindon players was a convincing goal. You know, you can tell they've obviously been practising them. You can't practice the pressure. That's one thing you can't practice, but they practiced where they were going to put them, and every single player put it where he wanted it to.
5-4 in the night in penalties, and just the one miss, Nicky Bailey, who was inconsolable at the end there, not surprisingly so. But he can't blame himself in a penalty shootout.
No, not at all. You know, it always happens to someone, George. That's the thing. You know, someone always has a miss, or the goalkeeper makes a save. And for Nicky Bailey, like, he's been missed to Charlton for virtually all this season. He's the captain, he's the leader, and you know, while we saw Gordon Greer feel the tension of the playoffs, doing what he did when he got sent off for the tackle on Dion Burton, you saw that Nicky Bailey there, the last thing in the world tonight that he would have wanted for him was to miss the penalty. That's crucial for them not to get promotion.
It's Swindon, though, going through to Wembley. Another season in League One for Charlton. And coming up for you, tomorrow, the playoff second leg between Millwall and Huddersfield, and that's locked at 0-0 from the first leg. 7:30 we're on Sky Sports HD1 and Sky Sports 1. It might be the same again. Be prepared for a late night. Stephen Darby stepped up. He knew that kick could take Swindon to Wembley, and it did. Swindon are there in the playoff final.
Sponsored by Bet365.
Here's your chance to play on the brand new TV show, The Poker Lounge. With him, and him. For a winner-takes-all prize of $120,000. Oh, and try not to do too much of this. Qualify for The Poker Lounge only at fulltiltpoker.com. Tournaments are running now.
Self-illuminating pixels deliver lightning-fast response times to give precision, control, and a truly striking picture. Panasonic Viera Neo PDP 600Hz televisions. The only televisions with twin high-definition tuners built in. Because motion clarity matters. Panasonic, ideas for life.
SportsDirect.com, the UK's #1 sports retailer, offer a huge range of England merchandise, including limited stocks of the England-South Africa Special Edition shirt. Pre-order now. Adult shirts are just £40 and kids shirts just £32. Pre-order online and in store at SportsDirect.com.
When does a place become part of you? When it offers sanctuary from a restless world. When it welcomes you with open arms. when your spirit soars. When you're in northeast England.
Paddy Power can't get Tittles back. There's nothing we can do about that. But we can get you your money back with our money back specials. Check them out at paddypower.com/TV. Yeah, head back. That was always going over.
Cross your fingers for no penalties. Please, no penalties. Cross your fingers for no broken metatarsals. Cross your fingers, there are no tears this time. Cross your fingers, there's no silly bookings. That he does have a good touch for a big man. That the little man doesn't see red. And for the keeper to guess right or left. Cross your fingers, we'll be the ones celebrating. Cross your fingers, we're in the right place at the right time. Cross your fingers for England to hold their nerve. And with a bit of luck, we can do it. Cross your fingers with Kit Kat.
Wembley beckons. It's all about holding your nerve. Taking your chance and winning promotion. Blackpool.
DJ Campbell.
And Cardiff are one step away from a shot at the big time. Don't miss all the drama of the Championship playoff final with Bet365.com this Saturday at 2, Sky Sports HD 1.
Sponsored by Bet365.
It was all going Charlton's way from the start of the match. 2 goals up. And they were in the lead overall on aggregate over Swindon. And then Swindon had a player sent off as well. But somehow, Danny got themselves back in the game. Danny Ward and Danny Wilson. Goodness me, what a night. And then went through in a penalty shootout. So Danny Wilson, the victorious manager, is at Wembley for the first time leading a club. And he's with Patrick Davison now.
Danny, after an epic, you're on your way to Wembley. How do you feel?
Absolutely delighted, of course we do. Like, you know, that was a real committed performance from the boys. I think, you know, after the sending off, you know, it showed the character that they've shown all season, and to get a goal, you know, in that period as well, you know, that was a great bonus for us. But I thought overall, you know, I think there was nip and tuck for both sides, wasn't it? We had a little bit of play there. You know, there was 2 good sides, very committed out there, and unfortunately going out as you do with penalties, it's not always fair in one respect, but you have to end it somewhere. But thankfully we're the recipients of it tonight.
So 2-0 down, your captain's been sent off, Billy Painter's come off, your keeper's been injured. What are you thinking?
I think it was in the stars. I think it was down to ourselves, really. I thought that you know, if we just got 1 goal, we said at half time, don't even think about, you know, getting 2 goals. Just get 1 and just see what happens. And because you know, the whole atmosphere changes when you score, as you saw today. You know, and after being in ascendancy for long periods, you know, Charlton, you know, all of a sudden, you know, it takes a bit of getting back, you know, when they've conceded a goal, and it gave us a big lift. And all of a sudden, we found an extra yard of pace, a little bit more energy, you know, and thankfully, like so we stuck in there.
And for the first time in your career, you'll get to manage a team at Wembley. How much are you looking forward to that?
Very much so. You know, it's a fantastic privilege to be part of these boys. You know, they never give up, and I think you've seen tonight, you know, the character they've shown all season. They deserve to be where they are. So we'll have a good day. You know, whether we're